All right, and we are live again, everybody. So today, first of all, welcome everyone. So today we are going to be continuing off with the Popeye project. We have our recently completed Popeye portrait right here. We're going to be taking a still image of him, and then we're going to be doing that boat shot, which I also made on stream. I made the boat. I have it right here. We're getting ready to go. Quins, what's good? And yeah, so this is going to be pretty exciting. I am really excited to finally get a still image of this guy and be done with it, because we were working on this guy for like, oh my gosh, 3 streams or something. I think it was 2 streams back to back sculpting him. And then in one stream, we painted this guy. One stream. The only thing that I've really done since is add a little bit of gloss finish. But yeah, he's looking great. So yeah, we're going to be starting off the evening by photographing Popeye here, but it's going to be a pretty exciting evening. And I'm hoping to not stream for too long. It's going to be 2 shots. One of them doesn't even have any animation. So we're going to get those 2 shots, and maybe I'll take a look at some old animations after we're done. But for now, I think we just got to get right into it. And I'm just going to be lighting this guy. So yeah, I'm probably going to get some colored lighting too. So let's see. So for context, this Popeye portrait is going to show over this footage right here. Just going to show you guys together. Me in the dark. Here we go. All right, so we have this. Yeah, right here. So this is where the portrait is going to show. Want to have some harsh lighting. Maybe add a little bit of purple in there to make it more consistent with the purple lighting that we have here. But we also have harsh, bright white light right here. So yeah, I think it's going to work. Shouldn't be too bad. What's up, everybody? All right, just making sure we're sharing the right window again. All right, good. So yeah, let's light this sucker. Yeah, when I'm lighting a shot, sometimes I'll spend like several hours just making sure that I'm getting it all right. Lighting the shot is a lot of fun, I think. I find it much more comfortable than like having to draw and do shading and stuff like that. Because when you're drawing or doing 2D art or painting or anything like that, you have to have understanding and like technical knowledge of like what lighting makes sense. But like for me, because I'm using real lights, I can't mess it up. Like I'm just moving the lights around. Let's get some of that purple. But yeah, I'm just going to do this on a green screen far in the background, and then I'll just remove the background in post. I don't even need multiple frames of this. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. I'm going to tone this down a little bit because I do not need that right now. Oh, yeah. Okay, like a little bit too much there, but like I like what's going on here. You know what I mean? Yeah, another thing about using a sunset lamp like this, like, of course it omits color, but the color is not solid. It tends to change when you get to the edge of the light. So like you kind of have like some green, some pink. Well, actually it's playing off the subject. But like you can see that it kind of changes before the pink really takes over. I think the pink might be a little bit too much though. Or magenta. Don't need green. We don't want green. Not teal. Too warm. Maybe that? Yeah, it's kind of green there. We doing our loop. Let's start with that. Also, I think that the Nikon zoom lens should be good. I was thinking of trying different lenses, but like right now I'm using my vintage Nikon zoom lens and it's looking pretty good. Like it's a good lens, quite versatile. Please excuse me. I'm going to be clearing my throat and coughing throughout the stream. I went on vacation like this past weekend, and of course I brought something home with me, and now I'm like pissed. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. It's terrible. And to think that all of those little details that you're seeing were done by hand. And I want the subject to really be in focus. So I'm going to close the aperture as much as I can to increase the depth of field. And because this is what? Just one shot, we can have the shutter speed be as long as we want. That was over 2 seconds. I'm just going to be trying out different ones, honestly, and just kind of see how we feel. Also, we have the other colored light. Can you see that? Now, I don't want my large diffuser light. Ooh, that's pretty sick. I don't want my large diffuser light to which is why I'm going to try turning it off for just a second, because I have all these little ones. That's too warm. That's better. Okay, wait. Yeah, look at that. Look at how like dynamic that is. Look at that. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm wondering if instead of just having a still photo, which is very static, I'm wondering if I could go like whoosh. Oh, it's very unsettling. And the best part is you can actually do this in Dragon Frame. Let me show you guys. See down here? Now, when you switch to movie record, the values of the camera are going to change, like, because now you're shooting video, completely different. Oh, but that shot is still really cool looking. Wait, I want to get that. That's really cool. And all those little details are really coming out well. Quins, no, I haven't seen that. I might, wait, hold on a second. I might want to try doing this. Oh, actually, I have to start the work clock. Oops. The heck is this? Hold on a second. Popeye production. Boom. Boom. There we go. Sweet. But yeah, I think especially since we have motion in the shot with the zoom in and like the creepy black paint engulfing the room, I think it would work to kind of have like a sort of like this. Since the last stream, I did add a little bit of a gloss finish right here on the lips, just a little bit. Oh God, it's so disgusting. And I added a few layers to the eyes, which you can actually kind of see here. Oh God, look at these wrinkles. Absolutely disgusting. It's great. That's good. It's just a little bit too bright on the right side, but you know what? Maybe if I do this, kind of helps a little bit. I don't think I want to eliminate the light altogether. Yet the other thing with like shooting the shot like this is I just need to know what the subject is going to look like once the light has dissipated. Oops. Oh, Rage Comic Photoshop. I don't know what that is, but thank you. If this thing is like absolutely disgusting you, then it's doing its job. Okay, so one of the problems if I set it to movie record, which I'm gonna do, just the only thing that kind of sucks about this is now you guys can't see what's happening. This is something that I really wish did not happen. Whenever I'm in movie record mode, the camera only, it shows the built-in display on the camera. It doesn't show it in the project, which is really weird because when I would record Brick Bob films, I have to like lean at really awkward angles to make sure that I'm like getting the footage just right. But we should be just fine if we do this. Okay, that's like the other thing. It's because I'm now shooting video and not photo. Everything about like shutter speed has to be more limited. Like you have less options with what you can do for shutter speed. Oh yeah, video quality is a little bit different. Was this 1280? That does look pretty unnerving. But yeah, I feel like, oh yeah. Ooh, this is so creepy. I am getting like a green tinge from the light, which we have to get rid of. We're gonna change that right now. Come on. Come on. Why are you green? It's very bizarre. I think I might take the other light from here, give it a shot. Maybe this would work better than the colored light. I feel like I'm getting a little too much. So we do this. If I block that out. Yeah. So after I shoot the video, you'll be able to see the playback in the program. You just can't see when you're filming, which I think is pretty stupid. I don't know why Dragon Frame is like that. You know what? Let's just do like a little bullshit one. All right. Recording right now. I'm gonna have the light come back on. So let me show you what this looks like. It takes a little bit to process. You go away. Red light's on. Good. Yeah, look at that. So, and it brings out more detail. And you're also getting more of the gloss finish. I just want to make sure it's going to make sense with the rest of the footage. I think I might just do multiple takes too, which is probably a smart idea. Worst that happens is I just have to do another one. This is not complex. Thank you everybody for joining. Remember to drop a like. I made this, what's up? Welcome back. Yeah, so what I was doing earlier today is I was creating a suite or a layout for my live streams, because what I've been doing so far is I've been just doing these live streams natively through YouTube, but you're very limited in what you can do with that. So I'm working on making a suite right now to just show more information, have it look more professional. Yeah, like I was tempted to kind of use it tonight, like the suite that I was working on, but I'm still learning how to like use OBS Studio and like enmesh it with like streaming through YouTube. So I did not want to risk I didn't want to risk it, the stream like kind of crashing or disconnecting because I'm still figuring it out. But we'll definitely have it soon, I think. Yes. And if I take that, we still have. Oh, it really looks good from above. Oh, it looks excellent from above. That's good. That's real good. This is what we like. I'm gonna just record a shot really quick. Oh yeah. There we go. The way the shadows like arc. All right, let's try that. All right. So just for fun, I'm going to try taking some of this footage and just dropping it into Adobe Premiere just really quick, just to see what it looks like. Oh, here it is. I'll put it on loop just so you can see what I was working on. And what is this, scene 3? Yes, it's very, very, very much Ren and Stimpy. Same art style. Which I guess, like, considering that Ren and Stimpy is like a really, really creepy show. Wait, what? Sure. Why not? Yeah, considering that Ren and Stimpy is like really, really creepy, I must be onto something. Movie number 2. Whoops. Also curious how that Ultra Key is going to work. Ultra Key as in the thing that removes the green screen. let me just try the last few seconds. Ooh, oh gosh. It's so uncanny. I'm looking at it in Adobe Premiere right now. Wait, do I have muted audio? Wait, what? I'm like missing a sound effect. Wait, am I? Or is there something muted? Wait, hold on a second. Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you are liking the footage. It's just right now, I think Adobe Premiere is doing some dumb stuff. Wait, what? Okay, there's a sound effect, which is not happening. Wait, this should be it. Why aren't you playing? Oh, we love Adobe Premiere. Okay, I'm going to have to look at that later. Popeye definitely eats at Popeyes. Yeah. Another thing that I'm doing right now in relation to my streams, so it's like, so right now I am like doing so much stuff on my little 14-inch built-in MacBook Pro monitor, like just my computer screen. So I'm thinking of also just getting a monitor to help with like just for organizational purposes, because I'm doing so much on one tiny screen. But yeah, no, when I have that sweet made, ooh, we are going to be golden. Then we can get everyone from Brick Bob Films to pull up for these streams. Because like, since I've started streaming, like I'm excited to, like, I want to do like a Brick Bob Films production stream. Like that could be so much fun. Just get everybody involved. We can all make an episode together. What's up, Sketchy? It's I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. Have a good one, Burger Motion. Yeah, we're a little, I'm a little bit frantic right now because the So it's like I'm doing a whole bunch on this small screen, and I do need to get like an external monitor, I think. But right now, I'm just looking at some of this footage that we captured and just seeing how it's integrating into Adobe Premiere. Because I could very well spend like 2 hours lighting this shot, but it might not even be necessary, you know what I mean? Might be overkill. Well, welcome. It's good to have you here. Yeah, this is our 13th stream. I've been having a lot of fun with these. I never thought that I would like be doing like filmmaking live streams before, but like everyone's been pulling up, saying hi, having conversations. Like it's been really, really cool. And it's just kind of gotten me thinking of like new things that I could stream, new facets of like my production workflow. Yeah, it's just like right now, it's just a little bit too cumbersome doing all of this on my built-in monitor. So I might review that a bit more later. But for now, I think I should move on and get to filming the boat, because that's going to be a bit more involved. Plus, Popeye the portrait man is not going anywhere. He's going to be right here. Still, that's a pretty cool effect. We're going to get our boat. Switching. I don't know why this is freaking out. This is a little bit unusual. Hello? What the heck? My computer... computer just like freaking out from how much stuff it's doing at once. Let me just close Adobe Premiere for just a minute. I guess I'll save. Ay. It's too much. All right, you know what? We're just gonna quit Dragon Frame for just a second, and then we're gonna open you back up. Okay. All right. We're looking normal. No clue what that was. Well, so sorry if I'm just seeing your message now, Sketchy. I'm doing a whole bunch on just like this small setup. But what happened was the reason that I started working on this Popeye project was because last year I was reached out by a host for a Popeye reanimated collab. Now, I haven't done a reanimated collab in a long time, since like 2019. But yeah, it was like, the reason that I joined this is because like they have some like really, really good animators and artists on board. And I was reached out to by the host, which is, I think it's usually how things go. I think sometimes you request to be part of the project. Sometimes you get contacted by the host. After I did reanimated collabs in 2019, I was always getting contacted by hosts. It's just like a fun little volunteer thing. Be part of a bigger project. I don't know if you've seen many Reanimated collabs, but they're pretty fun. Yeah, I also did what the heck was it? SpongeBob Band Geeks Reanimated. That was a really good one. And the Legend of Zelda, the Zelda CDI games Reanimated. I think that's the light we want. Yeah, this boat is just like a little establishing shot I wanted. It doesn't have to be super complex. And I'm going to put some waves in the foreground. But yeah, what was unique about this Popeye project compared to other Reanimated collabs was that for this project, you can take a whole bunch of creative liberty with your scene. So for instance, the scene that I got is like the scene from the cartoon. It's about 7 seconds, I think. But I've been able to turn it into a scene that's like 50 seconds long through creative liberty and stuff like that. I storyboarded like a whole new idea around it. This is a horror themed Reanimated collab. So the more horrifying, the better. But yeah, I think almost this whole project has been done on stream. And I've never done something like this before on stream. So this has been a really new experience in terms of working on an animation project. It's like the idea is we're going to have the waves just in the foreground. Have some blue clay around the ship, maybe. Was that the name of the guy that published it? It was so long ago, and I believe the Band Geeks Reanimated collab got taken down and then it was re-uploaded by someone else. So I don't know if the original metrics are lost like definitively, but it got quite a few views when it came out. And actually, like, oh shoot, like I could like go over my scenes later. I have to film this right now, but I could like, if you stick around for a bit, I could show you the scenes that I worked on. Should actually, maybe I can pull them up really quick. Yeah, the Band Geeks project was a lot of fun. But none of the scenes that I did were remotely as complex in terms of production, scope, scale, everything as this like this Popeye project, because for the Popeye project, you can go so crazy with your scene that you're kind of like making you're almost like making your own little film, like if you wanted to. There were some scenes in this project that are like over a minute long. But yeah, my mentality was like, okay, I want to make this into like a 50-second movie. Unfortunately, I do think this is going to be like my last reanimated collab, though. I haven't done one of these in so many years, but like, it's just like I'm too busy with other projects. Plus, like, I do this for work, so it's like doing like animation voluntarily is like it's just not really viable. And granted, like if I do get like a scene in a reanimated collab, like I'm always tempted to go further. I'm not gonna say that I would never do another reanimated collab. It's just like animation is so labor intensive. Dude, I love like the different rows of waves. It gives like a really like a good sense of like depth to the scene. Wait, let me just very quickly pull up the scene that I did for uh, reanimated Band Geeks. What the heck was it? Yeah, reanimated collab. Oh yeah, I was watching it a little while ago. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this right here. Yeah, so I'll find my two scenes. So the first one that I did was this one right here. Was my audio? Yep. Oh, and I forgot who said this yesterday. I forgot who said this yesterday, but like somebody asked me, Lorenzo, why for the longest time was was all of your stuff not 16 by 9 aspect ratio? And once again, here you go. There are the black bars. They should have banished me. They should have disqualified me, kicked me out. They should have removed me from the collab for submitting footage like this or just cropped it. I should be I'm ashamed of myself for submitting this. So what's really funny about this is like this footage, this was filming this like couple second shot. Okay, yeah, was you Quins. All right. So just a little fun fact for all of you guys. Filming this shot right here, this was this was what inspired me to come back to Brick Bob Films in 2019. Yeah. This simple little shot. It just excuse me. It inspired me to come back to Brick Bob Films because prior to this, I hadn't I hadn't filmed any Brick Bob Films related content in almost 3 years, 2.5 years. So yeah, this was the footage that made me feel like, wow, I wonder what an episode of Brick Bob Films could look like right now. So sorry, I'm like nestled in the corner here and I'm like in the dark. I am working on making a better stream layout and using OBS, like I mentioned before, but we're just not there quite yet. We'll get back to you. Boy. But yeah, it's just so crazy how this little shot right here, this like 2 second shot, was the inspiration. Like, this is what made me come back to Brick Bob Films. It piqued my curiosity. And it was like coming back to Brick Bob Films and making those new episodes for the new series. Those are the episodes I've made since 2019, over 30. Coming back and making Brick Bob Films was like one of the best decisions I ever made. And then we have another shot. This, I think I was animating for 5 hours. Oh, I think I went back too far. Oh, I forgot about this one. This creative. Yeah, this one. Adam Holbus, I love you for this, wherever you are. Here's my head. Yeah. It's funny how like I'm still doing that right now, right here in Popeye. It's it's great. I was so proud of this one. But yeah, the reanimated collab scenes that I worked on in 2019 were mainly like that. It was a clay animation character in front of like just a backdrop. You know what I mean? That was pretty much it. But no, this is a much more big, elaborate project. Yeah, but for this shot, what the game plan is, we have the waves, we have the boat. I figure if we do a horizontal like tilt, it'll give a large enough sense of like movement. This does not have to be a complex shot. Just kind of getting this. This will be the end point, I think. It's just like theater, the way you get like where you have like the flats representing the water. Project is 24 frames per second, and these waves will be animated at 2s. So, I don't know, just a personal choice. It's cool looking though. But yeah, it's funny because like that shot. Yeah, I've done the bully. That shot with all the Lego characters for Band Geeks Reanimated. So when I animated that shot, when I filmed it, I thought like, wow, this is such a big scene. Look at how many characters are in frame. Like, it's so much. Like, look at the scope of it. But when I rewatch that scene now, I'm like, oh, this looks like kind of small and confined. Because back then, like, what I filmed with like my little 18 to 50 millimeter Canon kit lens. Like, what? Nowadays, I have like the Rokinon 14 millimeter with the like the flared lens, the flared element on it, and that really opens up a shot. Shoot, I used it for this project. I like genuinely can't remember off the top of my head. But I'm pretty sure I used it for this project. I think I'll also have some of the light hit the waves. I'll make the waves in the back be a bit higher. All right. Get you right there. If I wanted to, I could probably try throwing the Rokinon lens to see what it would do to this shot. But like, I'm not hating what I'm seeing so far. The lighting is going to be very important. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Wait, what does it look like on this camera? It's so funny because like, you know, once again with the illusion that you're achieving with stop motion, it's like it looks like you're staring at an entire ocean in the animation software, but then as you guys can see overhead, it's just a few pieces of blue clay. Yeah, James, I feel like they would. I mean, there was that episode of SpongeBob where, like, what? Mr. Krabs' like grandpa comes to visit or something, and he's basically just Popeye. I don't remember what season it is. I couldn't tell you what like the newest episode of SpongeBob I've seen even is. SpongeBob is just one of those things where it's like I'll go back and revisit the old episodes that I watched as a kid every now and again. But I'm like not watching like the new stuff coming out. Because the only thing that I have like seen like consistently of SpongeBob that's new are the movies, and all of those like kind of suck. What's up, everyone? Yeah, we were doing the Popeye portrait earlier. Now we're getting the boat shot. This is so cool looking. What colors do we have? I want more. That's pretty, but it's not going to work with the Ultra Key, unfortunately. Oops. If we get the waist here, that's a good silhouette, right? I feel like that's a pretty good silhouette. Oh, look at that. Wow, this is like really weird feeling. The lighting is very theatrical looking. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, wait. Uh-oh. I still have the shutter speed like it over 2 seconds. Too much. Aperture is shut. Might be good. And I believe there's enough distance between the waves and the green screen where oh wait, actually. Nah. Hold on a second. The Ultra Key might have a hard time, like because I am seeing some tinges of green here and there. But I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Unless it's coming from the light. It's so weird. I think I think the orange tint hitting the blue waves is just kind of mixing a bit, and it's kind of coming out a bit green. But I should be able to work with that. All right, time to drop it into Premiere for a tick. Fit to frame. Ultra key. All right, let's see what we got. All right. Not gonna lie, not as bad as I thought. Yeah. Looks pretty good. I think that'll work. And I have a little bit of blue clay left over. Oh, wait, can I? I don't want those waves to be too bright, you know? They're not the focal point. I don't think I have any use for this light. All right. Oh, Inkspot, I have not played Platypus, but I've seen footage of it. I think I follow like the creator, like Twitter. I'm like never on, like I never use the app, but I just kind of like have it. I have Twitter, but I'm inactive on it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I have like a few thousand followers, so it's like, if I didn't have like a few thousand, not that that's like an impressive feat, I would probably just delete Twitter, because it's like, just there's so many social media apps, and nowadays like I used to be concerned with having as many social media platforms as possible, but now I'm more concerned about like having the right ones and finding where to connect with my audience. Granted, that's a completely different tangent, but yeah, the game looks cool. Is the game like still in development? Like, is there like DLC for it, or is there like, is the game just like I don't know what exists like beyond the game, because like the creator was still posting stuff. Maybe it was archive footage. Oh, oh man. I feel like the ship should have a name on it. Is that even gonna appear? No. I did not hear about that. I've heard of the Book of Life, but I haven't heard of El Tigre. Trying to think what I could name this ship. It might be overkill. I don't think anyone's gonna care if I don't name the ship. Eh. Now, the thing about like drawing on clay is like if I'm doing dark colors, like it's way easier. But like white, because this is like the hull. What do you call it? The hull of the ship. I don't know. It's black, so I can't draw on it with Sharpie. So maybe I'll just put like a little white thing on it. Like that's the thing. Like, of course, you don't have to add these little details, but like you only get you're only making a shot once. You know, every shot is precious. Do sailors usually give boats like ladies' names? Is that how it works? Like sailors never give boats like a dude's names, like the SS Dave or something. Let me just look that up quickly to make sure that I'm getting my boat naming etiquette correct, so I don't offend some sailors out there. Do sailors name boats? Do sailors only give boats women names? While the maritime tradition of personifying ships as she is centuries old, modern boaters name their vessels after spouses of any gender, historical figures, pets, or even clever puns. Huh. Okay, okay, wait. Hold on a second. Hold on. All right. I just learned a little bit about boats. How much surface area does this occupy? What? To juice up this pen. The SS Zendaya. Come on, this pen. Shoot, I should have done like a little Mr. Krabs cameo in this animation. That would have been kind of funny. He is? Actually, wait, I think someone mentioned that to me before. Could you tell me what scene? Was it like at the gift shop? Oh my gosh. Just the other day, I was rewatching the episode Hooky from season 1 of SpongeBob. Mr. Krabs saying, gift shops. Really? Huh. I'll have to look for that. Gosh, that the first SpongeBob movie is just so perfect. Like you just saying the Goofy Goober bar, I'm just thinking of like SpongeBob crying at the desk or at the bar and being like, I know, I'll just stop thinking about it. Oh wow, I feel better. Then Patrick just being like, hey, how's the new manager doing? SpongeBob bursts into tears and he's like, wow, the pressure's already setting in. I probably should have put this through the clay roller, not gonna lie. The Odyssey. Will Christopher Nolan's Odyssey be better than the SpongeBob movie? Somehow I think not. Yeah, I watched the trailer for that new Odyssey film and was just like, eh. Like, uh, I mean, call me a contrarian, but like I just get so annoyed by seeing the same actors over and over and over and over again in every movie. Like, you just like you can't avoid it. To think about like how in the future, like the Tom Cruises and the Brad Pitts of tomorrow are going to be like Markipliers and Mr. Beasts. Like internet personalities are going to be like in movies someday. Granted, if you have like the acting chops, but like that's how it's going to be. Saying you're a kid, it's like saying I'm a kid. I'm supposed to get a toy with this. Yeah, this shot is going to go hard. I can already see it. She's glad she was in Dune for 5 minutes. You just need the right ice cream. Yeah, like I don't watch many movies in the theaters. Like there's very few like things that come out where I'm like, yeah, I really, 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 really want to go see it. And even then, like when I went to see the Mario Galaxy movie, that was more of like a curiosity. Granted, I'm not exactly sure what I was expecting, so I guess the joke's on me. But like, yeah, I can't think of anything coming out where I'm like, oh yeah, I have to see this in the theaters. The hey, you're good, man. Good to see you, Tim. Like that trailer for Toy Story 5. 5 question mark. I'm not keeping count. I stopped giving a shit after 3. But yeah, like the another trailer for Toy Story 5 dropped out. Like it came out and I watched it last night and I'm like, wow, I really, 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 really don't care. Sorry to you Toy Story fans. Look, I love Toy Story as much as the next guy, but like, oh, just move on. Move on. That series doesn't have anything else to say at this point. And look, like, don't let me be misunderstood. Like, Toy Story 4, I do not think is a bad movie. It's a well-made movie, and the story is really good, but because it's Toy Story 4, the messaging and moral starts clashing with the rest of the franchise. Like, if it was just its own movie, it would be great, but because it's tethered to the continuity of the former movies, now it has to contend with those. Like, when you're telling an ongoing serial, the story has to grow and evolve in meaningful ways, but like, it's very obvious for Toy Story 4 that, like, you know, they had a good story, but now they have to like start reinventing the wheel and making it up as they go, and it's like clearly not planned. Yeah, Inkspot, like, I have absolutely no excuse for seeing the Mario Galaxy movie. I deserve to have spent like the money and technically been depraved of like what the $10+ I spent on a movie ticket. That's my fault. I am absolutely 100% not going to see the third Mario movie. Definitely not. If there was one thing that the Mario Galaxy movie proved, it's that well is already tapped out. And it drives me crazy because, like, the Mario Galaxy movie threatens to have more story at first, but inexplicably it just doesn't follow through. Stop putting Jared Leto in movies. Yeah, I'm trying like actors and actresses that like I just cannot avoid for some reason. Like, I'm talking people like, you know, Pedro Pascal, Emma Stone, Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, Scarlett Johansson. Like, I'm not saying that any of these people are bad actors. Seth Rogen, I cannot stand. Like, I cannot believe how much work that guy gets. He gets so much work despite being like so outspokenly like lazy. It just like, for me, it's just like, oh my God. Like, I'm sure his writing is good, but like in terms of acting, like, it's just a guy that does the same exact thing in everything that he's in. Granted, like, you know, there are other actors that do stuff like that I like. Like, Jim Carrey is another actor that like does the same thing in everything that he's in, but he's also got like an insane amount of range, and Jim Carrey has proven that he can do like legit, like serious stuff. Like, I think as an actor, and you know, you are your own brand, you are your own product, it makes sense that you would develop a reputation for playing certain roles. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's your brand. But like, there are exceptions. Like, there are people that can do some like genuinely like really good stuff. I think Jonah Hill was another actor that was like he talked about how for such a big part of his career, like, he would play like the nerdy fat kid, but there did come a point where he was trying to land some like legitimately like serious roles. You know what I mean? Oh, we're talking about Buzz Lightyear. Tim, I think I found the FNAF 2 movie more genuinely entertaining than the Mario Galaxy movie. Like the Mario Galaxy movie, I think I was just about like mentally like checked out at one point, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna reserve my brain power for like if this movie wants to do anything, like give me something, but it just didn't. And I'm like, well, all right. But no, like I think that the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie had more going for it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Inkspot, you brought up how they did our boy Buzz Lightyear dirty in Toy Story 4. I 100% agree with you. He's just kind of an idiot in Toy Story 4, which is sad. But oh my god. Lightyear is like one of the worst things I think I've ever seen. I detest Lightyear. I remember when they like announced Lightyear, I thought that it looked cool. I thought that like the whole like tie-in to Toy Story was a little bit bizarre. I would have preferred like a standalone space adventure movie. But I was down for like to give Lightyear a chance. I actually wanted to see it in theaters. I ended up not seeing it in theaters, but yeah. But no, a few months ago I watched it on Disney Plus out of pure curiosity. I was like, I heard this wasn't very good, but maybe it's got some redeeming like qualities about it. Wait, are we going in the right direction? I'm disoriented. Okay, we are not going in the right direction. This tripod head could be a little finicky sometimes, but it's still great. Yeah, like, oh my gosh. Just thinking about Lightyear makes me want to break things. Like, I hate that movie so much. It is like the most unbelievably boring movie I think I've ever seen. Like, it is so like you can't make a movie that boring by accident. Like, it's nothing. Oh, I'm getting all excited. Like just thinking about Lightyear just offends me. Yeah, I'll never forget. So I was like, you know what? Let's check out let's check out Lightyear. Maybe it's not that bad. Like maybe it's got some stuff going for it. Like I'm sure the animation is going to be like solid and stuff like that. So I booted it. Excuse me. I booted it up on Disney Plus, and like the very first the very first thing that you see in the movie is like text that says like, all right, so for all you people watching out there, you know how Andy from a movie that you like better got a Buzz Lightyear toy? Well, the reason that he got a Buzz Lightyear toy for his birthday was because he saw a movie that made him like the character a lot. This was that movie. And like already it's like, okay, so right off the bat, you're not giving this film even a chance to stand on its own two legs and get you invested. It's just, hey, remember this obscure character from, well, I guess he's not really obscure, but remember this character from a movie that you like better? So he likes this movie, so you got to like it too. Such a bad beginning. And then the rest of the movie is just so bad. It's so boring. Buzz Lightyear has like nothing to do in the entire film. The environments are very desolate, not fun to explore. Side characters suck. I think I mentioned that already, but I just gotta say it again. Hold on a second. I think I have to stand up. Oh gosh, so bad. Oh, and I heard that the villain for Lightyear was really bad. And I was just thinking, like, how bad could it be? Like, how do you mess up a villain that much? Especially for like a campy space adventure movie. Like, how you expect me to believe that you can screw up a villain that bad? But I can verify that yes, the villain in the Buzz Lightyear movie is so bad. Like hilariously bad. I was shocked because like, come on, Emperor Zurg, like Emperor Zurg was literally a parallel to Darth Vader in Toy Story 2. How could you mess that up? God damn. Pardon my language. So like turning this thing in one direction is pretty smooth, but if you have to backtrace, it gets a little bit weird. Andy's got crap taste in movies. No, yeah. So like people already joke that Disney and Pixar do lots of like twist villains. Like it's kind of become a joke. Granted, I don't think general audiences care that much. Me, I don't I don't really care if Disney and Pixar do twist villains or not. I just care if it's good or not. But I will say that because of the frequency at which they do twist villains, it is really, really, really predictable. So yeah, like they make Zurg, Emperor Zurg, such a fun, goofy, over the top Darth Vader parallel character. They they make him Buzz Lightyear from the future, and I swear it feels like a parody. Like it feels like a parody of Disney, like modern Disney and Pixar. And you had modern Buzz Lightyear saying things like, "Oh, friends are bad. You don't need friends. Friends are bad. They hold you back." And then you have modern day Buzz Lightyear who's like, "No, friends are good." It's like, oh my gosh, dude, it's so dumb. One, two. I am your father kind of thing. Like, here's the thing that would have been funnier. Like, or I am your, I don't know, I'm your cousin or something. But like if they just made Emperor Zurg like an over the top, like goofy, fun villain, like Big Jack Horner from Puss in Boots. Granted, that movie hadn't come out yet, so okay, never mind. But like that's like another example I could think of like, yeah, this guy is bad for no particular good reason. They're just bad, and they fully unapologetically embrace it. Like I would have been down for that. But yeah, like so another problem I have with the whole precursor where it's like, oh, this is Andy Dufresne's favorite movie. Like the when I think, okay, this was Andy from the 1995 Toy Story movie. This was his favorite film. It makes me feel like I'm going to see like a campy, like if you're going to tell me that a kid in the 90s, like this was his favorite movie, I need to see a film that is consistent with that time period and with that very, very specific demographic, 10-year-old boy. I don't know how old Andy is, but in Toy Story 1, but like, yeah, it's like you need to be consistent with that demographic. And I feel like I haven't seen the Buzz Lightyear show from the 90s, but I feel like that was probably way more faithful to what a boy would look like what a boy would like to watch in the 90s. I'm not a 90s child, unfortunately, so I can't like speak from experience, but like, come on. Yeah, like to me it just seemed like such low hanging fruit. Like, how do you mess that up? But yeah, it happened. I know nothing about like. I'm sure something went wrong behind the scenes. Like, I really don't know who Lightyear was like made for because it's like I feel like with a lot of like modern like Disney and Pixar movies, like they'll go into a project with a certain idea in mind and like a certain vision, but then at some point or another some kind of like interference, like studio interference, maybe a bad test screening, something happens which makes the higher ups be like, nope, we have to dial back a bit, and then like the whole project just ends up getting like diluted in the process. I saw Elio. Granted, Elio was like another thing that I really wasn't interested in seeing in because it just didn't look like it was for me. But like I heard it was a big failure, flopped at the box office. It was like their biggest disappointment ever. And I just went into it. I'm like, okay, I know that this movie's been having a hard time, but maybe I can see something underneath the surface. I mean, to me, Elio just felt like a $200 million like really small kids movie. John Lasseter lost the street cred. Now I've heard about the stuff with John Lasseter. But I also heard he got like made like a higher up. Like he was given a good job position at like some other studio. I'm not going to say what the name is because I don't want to risk saying the wrong studio name, but like it's like whatever. He's going to be fine, you know. He's not the first person in the big Hollywood studio system to be revealed as a creep, and he certainly won't be the last. Whatever. That's just life, unfortunately. That yeah, so I watched Elio, I watched Lightyear, I watched Frozen 2 for the first time recently. And it's like all of those are movies where it was like something happened behind the scene that like really resulted in like the movies getting gutted and just turning out to be very either like in Frozen 2's case, like either outright broken, like Frozen 2 is like such a broken script, or something that's just like aggressively like forgettable, like Lightyear, or I'd say Elio's definitely better, but still Elio just didn't have anything about it that would have me coming back to it. They have so much talent at these studios, but the more higher ups I think are involved, like it's hard to get everything to come together without something getting messed up. I think like that was the reason why I liked K-pop Demon Hunter so much, is that like it's just a simple fun movie with good music and good animation and an aggressively broad message and theme, but like, you know, it's not trying to tell this insanely deep, profound message that I personally don't think the writing really allowed for to begin with. I think that the writing in that film really knew its limits. You know what I mean? Hoppers was good. So I did hear Hoppers was good, but I have not seen it. Cell animation should return. I mean, I really don't have like an opinion. I think like the more diversity you see in animation, like the better. Like not everything has to be like a big corporate CG fest. Like there's room for everything. It's just, I mean, the hardest thing in animation is like getting the project made. That's kind of film period. But like I've said this before, you know, just with modern technology, it is easier. It's easier now more than ever to be an independent animator, which is like what I'm trying to build here. Also, to all 8 of you who are watching right now, like I am working on creating a nice visual overlay for the stream in OBS. Right now, I am streaming natively through YouTube, so it's pretty limited, not very pretty, but like I figure if I'm going to keep doing these streams, I want these to look good. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep doing these Popeye streams, working on the project. But behind the scenes, I am working on boosting the visual appeal for how these streams look. It is in the works. Yeah, I saw Klaus when it came out. That was like that movie was like getting a lot of press when it came out. I feel like it's kind of due for a rewatch. Because I have not seen it in a while. Yeah, like some people, particularly like film critics. Hold on a second. I'm getting like really hot, like sweating. Yeah, like so I noticed like critics for K-pop Demon Hunters would talk about how like, oh, the movie's too simple. Like it's not saying enough. And if you feel that way, like that makes sense. Like it's not bad to want more, to want the most out of a movie in terms of like what it's trying to say. But I think that like, especially with the theme nowadays of a lot of big budget animated movies, like having so much behind it, and then the message just getting lost somewhere in production, like that happens so much that like seeing a film that really, really commits to its simplicity, that I have more respect. Like, I mean, I have respect for the filmmaking, but I don't care if like, even if something is bad, I can buy something when the project is committed to its humor or committed to its story. If it commits to it, like let's say I didn't like K-pop Demon Hunters, like that movie commits to its zaniness, its goofiness, its music, and all that stuff. It commits to it so hard that honestly, I feel like if I didn't like it, I'd be like, okay, this just wasn't for me. But I think the worst, the most tragic thing is when a project kind of gets cold feet and backpedals a bit, because that shows that there's some insecurity going on, like at some point during the production. A real Roger Rabbit movie. I saw Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Did you see that? If you like Roger Rabbit, you'll probably like that. Roger Rabbit, actually, he does make like a cameo in Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. You know, it's got like, I mean, it's got John Mulaney. Like, I don't dislike John Mulaney, like his performance or anything, but he's just like, you know, another guy that you like, you know, he's not a voice actor, he's just a comedian. But it's also got Andy Samberg. I don't dislike Andy Samberg. He's funny. But yeah, I liked Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, but oh my gosh. The faux 2D animation 3D models that they had in that movie are so horribly bad. Disney should have been ashamed of themselves for releasing that. The villain is kind of problematic if you know your Disney history. I can I don't know specifically what you're talking about, but I think I can guess what you're getting at. That's fair. What offended me the most in Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is, so you have characters from like animated characters of different mediums from different eras and stuff like that. You have 2D animated characters, 3D. There's even like a stop motion clay animation character, but he's done with CG, of course, which I also thought was extremely disappointing. But yeah, what like the CG, like clearly CG clay animation detective character, like that was bad. But what they have is for the 2D characters, instead of animating them with actual 2D animation, they have like these 3D models that are sort of meant to look like they're 2D, and they look so bad, like unbelievably bad. And what's funny is that they have characters that are done with actual 2D animation in the film, like background characters, extra characters, side characters. Like Flats from The Little Mermaid is in the movie, and he's done with like hand-drawn 2D animation. And he looks amazing. Like, he looks amazing. So I'm just like you'll see 2D animated characters in Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, and they like the hand-drawn ones look amazing, but then you'll see these like disappointing 3D models that just look so bad. Such a missed opportunity. And this is like coming from the studio that has so many resources. Granted, it's not that simple. $2D and 3D models by different studios. That makes sense. It was probably like outsourced to like a village in Africa or something. I mean, let's be honest. So I watched Disenchanted recently, and there was like they brought back 2D animation in like of the same fidelity as like what they had in the first Enchanted movie from 2007. And in Disenchanted, it looks good. You can tell that they like, clearly it's not like an in-house crew. Like they definitely 100% outsourced it. But like the fact that it was done like hand drawn, like it looks really good. It's just a shame because like even though it does look good, like I definitely is like, yeah, they definitely did not do this in-house. Yeah, that's just the way it is. That is the way it is in filmmaking. Sad. Oh my gosh. The SpongeBob movie. I've talked so much about how much I love the SpongeBob movie, but I think like the last time I watched the SpongeBob movie, like I rewatched it, I watched all the credits and like all of the animators in that movie are like Japanese or something. I'm probably getting that wrong. Please excuse me. But like if you go to the 2004 SpongeBob movie and look at the animators that worked on the film, like none of them are American names. And I remember seeing that and just being blown away. I'm like, wow, even here. Oh God. I did not see Moana 2, but like I did hear that it was like a few episodes of the TV show like stitched together. So yes, I would assume that the animation is quite like I don't even know how you do that. Like in order to really achieve that feature film quality, you would probably have to kind of do it again from the ground up. Granted, I'm not a 3D animator, but like yeah, I don't know what the fidelity of the animated series, which was definitely intended to be streamed, like I don't know what that would have looked like. Probably not feature film quality, but alas, it is what it is. Korean, but you're close. Yeah, I do not think the names were like Japanese, but they were definitely some kind of Asian. I just remember. How's this even looking so far? It better look good. Oh. Oh. Thank you, animation Jesus. All right, I'm gonna drink my water, then we're gonna get back to this. Yeah, Quinns, like I agree, like that's awesome. Like unlike Roger Rabbit where they only had 2D animated characters. Like I think it would have been so cool to see like a modern version of that. Look, you would be hard pressed to make a movie that's even half as good as Who Framed Roger Rabbit in this day and age. But if they did commit to it, like they did commit to having, the new animation styles, like I would have respected that. Once again, it's like that lack of commitment, like coming so close, but ooh, just at the last second, oh no, we're not going to fork over the extra, $500 million for actual 2D animation. Somewhere, hand-drawn animation probably costs that amount of money, right? Oh, I have a white spot exposed. Thank you. I can like crop it, But I also have some like extra pieces of clay. That's my bad. I have to be looking out for that a bit more. Yeah, that's like the funny thing about like animated movies. Like, you're watching it as a kid. In my case, you want to be an animator. Two, one, two. But then you rewatch those same films as an adult and see like, oh yeah, it's actually really quite rare when a film is like entirely animated in the United States. Then, the dark hour of reality creeps in. I've never seen that. No, I haven't. Sounds cool though. Yeah, like watching 2D, like hand done 2D animation and just seeing like just how beautiful it is. Like going back and looking at like Black Cauldron, like that movie has so many problems, but animation wise, like I watched that movie a few months ago and it is so beautiful. It's such a gorgeous film. Yeah, like I think that like it's great. Like if something different than mainstream animation comes out, like that's a really great thing. And I think in a perfect world that would be happening much more frequently than it does. But yeah, it's like the industry is notoriously difficult. We're going to be getting a new Leica film later this year, and like it is just Leica is such like an anomaly in modern animation. Like you see their films and you're like, how does something like this get made today? Where everything's about outsourcing, cutting costs, cutting corners, established IP. Like for something like Leica, like the films that they make, like I don't, it is so rare today. Like, K-pop Demon Hunters is like the ultimate like IP that any huge studio would like, but like no way is there going to be tons of like McDonald's commercials and merchandise for Wildwood. Granted, we haven't seen the movie yet, but that is more consistent with Leica Studios. Like they're like a studio that's like really in it for the art. Yeah, like Aardman Animations is really good too, but they definitely have their niche in like creating like general something that's friendly for like general audiences, friendly for advertisers, marketing. Yeah, I saw Paranorman, the 3D release, re-release, anniversary release or whatever. I don't think it was an anniversary release, but I saw that in the theaters this past October. That was like one of the Leica movies I didn't really watch growing up. Like even when it came out, I didn't see it, but it's good. I would say that Paranorman was really where Leica kind of hit their style. It's so visually different from Coraline. Also, for any of you guys, like I was talking about K-pop Demon Hunters and how like people complained that it was too simple and that the script wasn't saying enough, like it wasn't deconstructing like the K-pop industry. I know nothing about the K-pop industry, but but I would say that if you guys want to see like a fun like action-packed movie that's also like a very brilliant deconstruction of a larger industry, watch the 2008 Speed Racer movie. That movie is amazing. But not just anyone could pull off a movie like the 2008 Speed Racer film. Like the fact that that movie is that good is like a miracle, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like it really kind of just gives you an appreciation for when a movie really does just come through very well. You just have like a whole new like a whole new appreciation like wow, this is insanely difficult. And yet it just somehow it just came out on the other hand. Oop, excuse me. Where are we? Sorry, I'm disoriented, a little tired. Oops. I have to turn off this toggle. It's hot in here. All right, let's get this shot done. This would be easier if I had more arms. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Wildlife? Was it like, was it trying to ride on the coattails of the popularity of like Madagascar? Because there was that film. What was it? It's literally called The Wild, I think. Actually, Will Vinton had some kind of involvement in it. But yeah, it was like a clumsy. I think it was like just another. It was probably trying to cash in on the success of Madagascar. Look at how quick my hand is. Quicker than rendering, right? Oh, before Madagascar? How many more frames we need? Yeah, no, we have a little ways to go. Oh, I want to turn on my AC so bad. Yeah, I'm not turning on my AC because it will create this atrocious hum, this backup, this white noise in the background. I will not subject you guys to that. But I do have to get the audio situation figured out, though. But for now, we're going to rough it out. This will be a good establishing shot. Like, the animation could have functioned without it, but I like having a little bit more context. Yeah, like canceled animated movies, I think, are like the most tragic. All that like unsung hard work. Yeah, that's why like I don't know, there's like a really nice feeling to like I don't need to make a feature film. I would love to make a feature film. Like who wouldn't? But not everyone can make a feature film, let alone a good one. I might not even be able to make a feature film. But if I could just like do this, like just make my own projects, like, never say never. Like it could happen one day, but you got to start small. And like just doing this here, like I think I can make some really cool stuff. And I have made some really cool stuff right here in this room. Stuff that's been seen by millions of people, and people tell me how much it meant to them growing up, and I'm like, well, why can't I keep doing this? Like I feel like I can do anything with animation, There's a like people always say, because like I've worked in live action too. I've worked with a bunch of like young like live action filmmakers. Like they say like, oh, animation's too hard. Personally, for me, I think live action is way, way, way harder. Like if you want to like be constrained by everything, do live action. Now I get that not everyone can be an animator. Well, I think like anyone can learn animation, but you need to have a certain enthusiasm that just can't be taught. But I find animation to be really, really freeing in the sense that, like, as someone who's like a solo like artist or whatever, like I feel like I can pull all these puppet strings from behind the camera. I don't have to worry about location and getting extra actors and stuff like that, and weather, where the sun is, meeting on location, insurance for filming at a building, shoots going on for too long. Like, of course, like you're gonna hit some stuff when you up your production process, like get more people involved. But like, I feel like animation is just so freeing. Yeah, I heard Toy Story 2 had a very troubled production. But Toy Story 2 is like amazing. It's really, really good. Personally, the Toy Story film that I watched the least is the first one. It's not bad, but it doesn't really have like, it doesn't have as much to have me keep going back to it. Like because Toy Story 2 and 3 are so rich, Toy Story 2 is like really funny. The whole thing that they do at Buzz Lightyear is so hilarious and so cohesive with the first movie. Man, they really did Buzz Lightyear so dirty in Toy Story 4. Oh, it's gonna be direct to video. Yeah, like with Buzz Lightyear, the whole like having him think he's a real space ranger arc in the first movie, and then like him having to save Woody now, but while also dealing with himself again, thinking he's a real space ranger in the form of the imposter Buzz, and then just the whole thing with Emperor Zurg like being thrown in is so funny. And like, and then in Toy Story 3, you know, him turning evil, going back to demo mode, and then turning into Spanish mode. Like, the writers found so many really clever, really, really funny ways to play around with like the concept that like, oh yeah, you're a toy. If someone wanted to, like, they could stick a paper clip in your back, and then you'll revert to demo mode, which is a pretty like terrifying concept. But no, like they play it off for comedy in the Toy Story series, and it's so funny, so brilliant. Now, if you want to see like a really dark version of Toy Story, watch Brave Little Toaster. Brave Little Toaster is so good. But like when I look back on that movie, there were some like legit, like very dark, very existential themes that Toy Story just doesn't really get into the same way. If anything, like Toy Story 3, like the climax will sort of touch on what Brave Little Toaster does, but Brave Little Toaster is like a lot more bleak in the sense that there's a lot more, it focuses in on the mortality of these characters more, because they're appliances that are designed to be in service to humans. Like, oh my gosh, the climax of that movie where, or the third act, rather, I don't know if it's necessarily the climax, but like where the cars are singing as they're being hauled away into the, like being crushed into cubes. It's very, very eerie. Not to mention when they're in the thrift shop or something, and all of these like Frankenstein, like old, outdated pieces of hardware are singing about their about like the frivolities of like what they do, how they're all just praying to not get like cut apart for spare parts. I mean, yeah, like oh, and not only that, like not only does oops, I messed the mask up. Uh-oh. Not only does Toaster do that in the climax of the film, but this was something that I did not notice when I was a kid, by the way, because I watched Brave Little Toaster growing up. There's like a scene when they're in the woods and there's like a storm. First of all, Toaster has that really freaky nightmare. Everyone remembers the nightmare scene. The one with that really freaky clown. That scene was so, so tough. But right after that, there's a storm and Blanky gets sucked into the sky. And everyone's looking for him, but they run out of battery. So that's a huge problem. They're not going to be able to travel without their battery. And there's like a scene where Lamp like plugs himself in and faces towards the sky. And when I was a kid, I thought that he was trying to like use what was left of the battery to hopefully shine light into the sky to kind of get a better view. But looking at it now, I now realize that he was using himself as a lightning rod, knowing that he could very well not wake up after getting struck by lightning, just to charge the battery. Like there is like a lot of really dark themes in Brave Little Toaster, and I think that's why I like it so much. Because at the outset, it's like this cute, you know, little animated adventure movie. What stop motion film are you talking about, James? I'd be curious. Which car, Ink Spot? Because there were a bunch during that song sequence, but I can't think of the specific car you're thinking of or mentioning. There was also the scene with the air conditioner exploding. That was so crazy. All right, I think we're going to wrap up this shot. I think this should be enough. Also, a reminder to everyone, if you haven't already, consider becoming a channel member and check out the Patreon. You can join for free in case YouTube ever decides to mess with me for whatever reason. But yeah, gonna be back with another stream on, hold on a second, on Friday. And I'm just gonna do a little loop that I'll end on. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, that magnet guy was very, very, very freaky. The fact that he's mute and that he doesn't speak, he just has those insanely angry eyes. and hovers over like a Grim Reaper. All right, and I think that should about do it. It's over here. Oh, we don't need that. Oh, actually, if I copy and paste, we should be good. If I need to get more of a tilt in the shot, I can always just do it in post. But we have enough tilt going on camera. Looks pretty good. The water is like moving a little bit weird, not gonna lie. But I think it'll do. Nice. But yeah. Oh, it's a good shot. I don't know if this is like an actual quote from Steven Spielberg, because I heard someone paraphrase it in a YouTube video, but he said something like I could redo the shot or shoot it for like another hour and maybe it'll be like 5 to 10% better, but I'm just going to move on. Like, got to move on to the next thing. That's one of the reasons why I like stop motion so much. It's like you can't go back and reshoot a scene. I never go back and reshoot scenes. The process is very precious because it's a one and done. Mascot. I'm going to have to add that to the thing. Because now I'm kind of curious. There's one from 1933. Okay. But yeah, I mean, oh shoot. This stream went on longer than I anticipated, which is okay. We got what we needed. But I'm going to call the stream here. Not sure what we're going to be doing on Friday currently, but show must go on. I'll think of something. There's always another thing to be done. But in the meantime, everybody, I'm going to be calling the stream here. But remember, channel memberships and Patreon, drop a like. Thank you guys so much for coming in and talking. You made this so much fun. And we will have more work to do coming up this Friday. So I'm looking forward to integrating all of this footage, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.